Hey, what's up, you guys? Welcome back. So, we have an interesting topic to talk about today. A lot of you have been asking me to talk about NFTs, non-fungible tokens, which is all the rage these days, of course. And you guys know I'm really big into crypto, so this is definitely a topic that interests me as well personally. However, I thought I'd expand the horizons a bit and talk about the general concept of tokenization in general. But before I get into the weeds of it, we got to discuss the definition of fungibility. So, fungibility is defined as the ability of a good or asset to be interchanged with another individual good or asset of the same type. Wow, that was a mouthful. What does it mean, right? Well, something is considered fungible when each unit of that thing is the exact same as another unit of the same exact thing. So this is probably not helping with the definition. So let me give an example. Okay, so if I have two $100 bills and the value between the bills should be equal, right? Like duh. If I owed you $100, it shouldn't matter if I paid you with one bill or the other because you should be indifferent between these two bills. Same thing, let's say, with stocks. So the price of the stock may change. However, given that it's just two shares of the same stock, then those are equal, right? So a share is a share. So say if you have two shares and you sell one of them, well then did you just sell the share that you bought first, or did you just sell the share that you bought second? Well, it doesn't really matter because they're all the same, right? It's fungible. So each share is the exact same as the other, and there's no like order to them, or there's no way to tell. So hopefully that was an adequate explanation of fungibility. I probably bungled that, but you can just watch another video on it or something and then come back. So given that, you should know that the idea of something being non-fungible, well, you should infer what that means, right? So something that is non-fungible would be kind of like a collector's item, or something one of a kind is non-interchangeable with another unit because maybe there isn't another unit of it. Maybe it's one of a kind, or even if it's a collectible, there might be small differences between each unit, right? So think of the Mona Lisa, for example. I could print out the Mona Lisa using a printer and I could paste it on my wall, but that doesn't make it the real Mona Lisa, right? I could even hire an artist and make a very good replica, but no matter what I do, I'm not going to be able to have the original. No one's going to believe me when I say I have the original Mona Lisa at my house, right? Because we all know where it is, right? It's in like Paris at the Louvre, right? So it's different compared to the original. It's not going to be interchangeable with the original. That's the point that I'm trying to make. So same thing applies to, let's say, a rare Pokemon card. So there might be more than one rare Pokemon card. Well, that was hard to say. There might be more than one rare Pokemon card of any kind, but there's a difference between each card, as I said, right? There might be a difference between number 1 and number 10. Some people might want to pay more for number 1 because it is number 1 versus number 10. So one card could be in better condition or whatnot, right? So the point is that collectibles may not be interchangeable with each other, so they're said to be non-fungible. So a non-fungible token is just a digital asset version of something that is non-fungible. So for example, you have like digital collectibles, right? Digital baseball cards or digital Pokemon cards. I'm sure like there are digital versions of everything, right? So as far as I'm aware, all of them are currently based on Ethereum. Maybe we'll have Cardano NFTs or Dogecoin NFTs. I don't know. But yeah, right now they're all based on Ethereum. And it just exists on the blockchain, and the benefit of that is that with the blockchain you can prove that you are the owner, right? So the blockchain is public, so everyone can see when exactly that NFT was created and who like the money went to, right? Or who the collectible went to and who the ETH went to. So whenever you sell it, let's say you sell it for ETH, well then we can see that transaction and you can follow it along, so you can see like who each one of the owners is, and everyone can see how much you paid for it as well. So yeah, basically that's all NFTs are. They're provable ownership of an asset or a piece of property, and that's what gives NFT its value. That's what trips up a lot of people who are just getting into like cryptocurrencies and this space in general, because people look at the NFT and they go, oh, this is just like a JPEG, like I can print that out and put it on my wall. Well, again, like you can't prove that you own that piece of art just because you printed it out or you downloaded it, right? So, buying the NFT means that you can prove to everybody and have everybody agree with you that you actually own the thing. So it's backed by the blockchain, which is a consensus mechanism. And now it's provable ownership of like a piece of art worth hundreds of thousands of dollars or even millions of dollars, like how some people have paid for like NFTs in the past. Well, that's for you to decide. I'm not gonna like comment on that. I'm not an artist, so I don't understand like this whole like art space in general. But I'm just gonna highlight some key points about NFTs in general, right? So the whole idea of like the digital art and collectibles thing, keep in mind, it's just one aspect of NFTs. So if that's not your cup of tea, tokenization, like it doesn't stop there, right? Because if there are non-fungible tokens, there are also fungible tokens as well. So for example, the company Binance recently made some waves by offering Tesla stock as a token, which you can buy using Binance's stablecoin, which is pegged to the USD, called Binance USD or BUSD. So essentially what they've done is for every token of Tesla they created, they'll have one share of Tesla sitting somewhere in a treasury to back it, and then you can use BUSD to buy and sell the tokenized Tesla instead of the actual share. So if you're thinking that, oh, this sounds stupid, why would I do that when I can just transact using like the actual share? Why would I buy the token? Well, the first thing that comes to mind is that since it trades on the blockchain, there wouldn't be any market opening or closing hours, so the token would trade 24/7. That's like the first advantage that I could think of, right? So it gives traders a lot of opportunity to react to breaking news. So the second advantage is fractionalization. So I know if you're American and you're watching this, you're like, I could buy fractional shares at my brokerage. I'm like, yeah, I know, but like here in Canada, not every brokerage offers fractional shares, right? I think as far as I'm aware, I don't know any brokerages that offer it. There probably is, but like I don't have an account with any brokerage that offers fractionalization at the moment. So tokenization though would allow for fractional shares. Fractional shares of the token, which is, it's kind of like fractional shares, right? So you can buy a fraction of a Tesla. That's what I'm trying to say. So third is that in this particular case, we're talking about Binance who's offering this token. So I assume that you would need a Binance account. I'm not really sure about that. But in the future, I'm sure there will be completely decentralized versions of tokens as well, which means that you don't have to actually go through any central company to be able to like buy and sell the shares. So if you recall what happened with GameStop and Robinhood made a lot of people angry by restricting the buying of GameStop shares. And I think they recently did it with Dogecoin too, when Dogecoin started skyrocketing. And if you read into the reason why they did it, it's because, the way that the system is set up right now, there's like settlement periods where the trade happens instantaneously when you're doing it on the app, or so it seems. But in the back end, it actually does take 2 business days for the transaction to settle. And, if the volatility is too high, then there could be liquidity requirements from like the back end, from like the clearinghouse side, which means that, Robinhood would have to put up a lot of money to meet those liquidity requirements, which means that if they didn't have that money, then like they will stop you from buying the shares because they run a risk of going bankrupt if they just let everybody buy the shares, right? So it's the way that our financial system works right now, unfortunately. But with blockchain, we can potentially solve those problems since we already have all the ingredients to make a financial system with blockchain. And blockchain, you don't have to wait 2 days, right? Blockchain is really fast. So you can use decentralized exchanges. And all we're missing is the actual stocks that haven't been tokenized, which we're starting to move in that direction with Binance taking one of the first steps, right? So that's the kind of future or a vision of the future that I find so fascinating, because this literally would be impossible for someone to come in and say, no, you can't buy this stock. That brings me to the last thing that I want to talk about with regards to tokenization, which is that the future potential of it. So one thing that I think would be very useful to be tokenized is limited drops of high demand goods. So think of your like Yeezys or your like Supremes or whatever the kids are into these days. For example, concert tickets maybe, back when concerts existed. So if there was a high demand for a concert, let's say it's a famous artist or something, then the tickets would get released. And the way that is done now is that bots would just like scoop it all up and try to like sell it on the secondary market for a huge markup. And people will still buy them because they want to see that artist. And all the premium will go to the scalpers, right? So what if you tokenize the tickets where like each ticket can be redeemed for like access to the venue, and then instead of a physical piece of paper, it will just be a digital token. And if someone bought the ticket and they're willing to pay more, they can like transact on the blockchain. But then the original ticket issuer, let's say they take a cut of like the transaction because it's like you can do that with smart contracts, right? So then they can capture some of that premium. So some of that premium goes back to the like original ticket issuer, and then we like just basically cut out the scalpers from the trade. So if you really think about it, you can just tokenize just about anything. As I said, you can tokenize art, you can tokenize Tesla stock, and you can tokenize concert tickets, and you can even tokenize your mom. No, just kidding. Don't tokenize your mom. She's a nice woman. So that's the idea anyways. I don't know. Let me know what you think down below in the comments. And be sure to hit the like button if you haven't already, and be sure to subscribe if you haven't already done so as well. Be sure to follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Links down below in the description as always. And with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.